Alright guys, I got an update for you on the 87 T-top. I've been working on it a little bit, doing some things to it. I got the interior completely gutted out, except for the dash, sorry. Not completely. The dash is still in there. I did clean it up a little bit. It cleaned up pretty good. Looks much better than it did. I'm still going to tear it out so I can get at the firewall liner up in there is damp and stuff, and it smells. I got to pull all that out still to get inside the dash and get everything cleaned up. It's kind of a mess in here right now. Got tools everywhere, but floors look pretty good. I haven't peeled this stuff up, but there's no holes under there. I've already looked through that. But back here where there is no sound deadening, as long as this car sat with no window in the driver's side, I really expected to find this floors, especially on that side there, to be rotted through badly. But the only real rust, there's just some surface rust in here from the carpet being damp. So there's really no holes in it. There is one hole, but I don't think this is due from it sitting. I think this is more from when I had it, one of the T-tops did leak, and as you can see there's a hole right up there, right where the firewall kicks up, which is a common spot on these cars to rust. So this is minor though, it's not that bad. It doesn't go up and under here at all. It's just right to the edge. That hole there wasn't even there until I punched through it. It was a little thin, so it's not structurally sound. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to cut it out and replace it. So better off just to punch through it. It looks fine from the underside, but like on the inside, it obviously rotted from the inside out. This is really damp up in here. So this all here is all solid, just a little surface rust. Just that one little hole in the whole car. So I'm pretty excited about that. And this side here, which this is where it held all the water. This friggin' thing had 2 inches of water in it the day I brought it home. I can't believe what this floorboard looks like over here. I pulled the drain, obviously, to drain the water out of it, but I don't, you know, I'm surprised. 7 years this thing sat with no window in it, and it was most of the time uncovered. The interior is horrible, especially this driver's seat. I just couldn't believe how good the floors looked. Anyway, I've been straightening some things out. This side had damage when I bought it, and then behind the ground effects here that goes on the side. Sorry, I'm a little close. I don't have a lot of room in between these two cars, but and behind that, this here was caved right in, and it was like that for, I never even bothered with it because you couldn't really see it because of this. Unless you opened up the door, you could tell that that was all caved in. Well, I got inside it with the porta power and pushed some of it out. It was creased really badly right here. I mean, this was all folded back, and it was, you can see where the crease was right there. And with dollies and my hammers and dollies, I've managed to get it pretty much straightened right out. It is a little stretched because now it's kind of bubbled outwards, so I got to work on getting it pushed back into where it should be, but I was really happy with how good I was able to straighten this line out and get that crease out of there. It actually came out pretty good. I still got a little more work to do in this door area here. This is kind of rolled back. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's not completely straight. You can kind of see, if I put a straight edge on it, you can see where the gap is there. It's kind of rolled over, and it's kind of pushed back in here, and this stuff's kind of pushed back. So I got a little bit of work to do in there to get that all straightened out, to get the door body lines and everything to look really good. But that's pretty good there. the main damage of the car obviously was up here, and you can't tell right now because there's nothing on it, but I actually was able to straighten it out. I mean, pretty much right on. From the measurements I've taken so far, everything looks great. All the body panels, when I put them back on, line up really, really good. I'm super happy with the way it came out. The aprons, like this, right now I was pushing out on the core support here because it was pushed back just a little bit. And, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do yet. Like, this apron's torn. I mean, I might as well just replace them. This one over here, it came back pretty good. There's a few wrinkles in it, but especially up here, it's wrinkled up pretty bad. So I'll probably end up putting new aprons in it still, and a new core support. Frame rails came back really good, but you can see where it was stretched here. It kind of just, you know, wrinkled itself up when I did it, so I gotta look into that. I'm still working on straightening this all out, so it may need to actually be pulled out a little bit. I'm not exactly certain yet. It's still a little wrinkled right in here. In the frame, obviously, I mean, it kind of tore when I straightened it back out from where it was all wrinkled up, especially on this side. I mean, the motor's still in here, but you can see right here, the frame is split from where it was all wadded up. And I didn't use heat or anything like that, so it kind of tore a little bit. This side over here, everything on this side came back really nice. I mean, this doesn't even look like it was damaged, barely. So I'm gonna cut out those sections where it's torn. I have another frame section, and I'm just gonna cut a section out and weld a new piece in where it's torn, rather than just welding the crack up and leaving it all wrinkled like that. This side here, I still got to figure out whether or not this just needs to be pounded back. I think it may need to be pulled out or pushed out a little bit forward to kind of straighten that out. So I'm still working on that right now. Next thing I'm going to do, probably I'm going to order core support and fender aprons, because I do have also rust in here. Like, one time I threw a belt on it and it slapped the battery and busted the battery open and threw acid everywhere, and I didn't do a very good job of cleaning it out back then, so it's kind of, you know, it ate the paint away and rusted the top of this frame rail. So I'm probably going to open this up, take this top frame rail piece out when I do the aprons, and treat the inside of the frame, because I'm sure the paint's probably gone in there. Everything still feels really solid, but the top of that frame rail does have a thin spot where I was able to poke through it. But one thing that I'm super happy about is these shock towers are beautiful on this car. And I always knew they were, but I was kind of disappointed to find the rust in the floor pan, but it's a lot better than what I was expecting. So like I said, I always knew this car had never been driven in the winter time, and it was taken, you know, really good care of. So basically, I think that's about it. Kind of just rambling on about it here, but that's what I've got done so far. That's what I'm working on, straightening it out. So hopefully next time I'll have some new parts to put on this thing and start getting it back in, you know, in shape here. I'm gonna pull the motor out, pull the motor and tranny out so I can get in there and really fix everything good. Probably rebuild the motor and tranny. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about paint yet. I still haven't decided. Interior, I still got some thinking to do on that, but for now that's about it. And if you guys enjoyed it, you know, subscribe. and there'll be more updates to come soon. So thanks a lot, guys.